with me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the command post. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I, of course, am your commander-in-chief, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. So, simply put, I wanted to come here and ask you guys a question. Training camp is nearing. This time next week, the rookies would have already reported and will be waiting on the veterans to show up for camp. And things are about to get going. It's a very exciting time of the year. We've gone through this dead period where there's absolutely nothing to talk about. And so this is the very tail end of it. But I got a question that I want to ask. And so this video is designed to bring traffic to a poll question that I am attaching to this video. So you can go to my community wall, right? And I want you to participate in this poll. And so it's a very simple poll, but this is something I think you've got to think about. And I would love for you to leave comments down in the comment section of this video. You can do it here. You can do it on the poll itself when you respond to the poll, whatever the case may be. But here is the poll question, okay? Here's what the poll looks like, and I want to see what your response is going to be. What would you like to see happen most in 2023? And so I'm going to gauge where your head's at, because so many of you I've talked to want Rivera gone. So many of you want to see this team start over with a new ownership group coming in, wiping the slate clean and picking a new GM. That GM picks a head coach. That head coach picks the rest of the players, so forth and so forth, or fills out his staff. The GM is able to come in here, clean house, all of that stuff. Some of you want to see Bieniemy get a chance to be the head coach, which, you know, I find very fascinating. We're going to talk about all of that. But here are your 5 options, okay? Team wins 10 plus games, okay, 10 games or more, makes the playoffs, wins a game, and because of that, Rivera is extended. Now, remember, Rivera is going into the final 2 years of his contract. This is year 4. He signed a 5-year deal. So theoretically speaking, he would have 1 more year left on his deal after 2023. Okay. But generally, if you believe in your coach, just like your quarterback, you don't allow them to go into that final year of their contract. That's where we term that coach a lame duck, right? When you're on the final year of your deal, rarely does a head coach be allowed to go into his final year unless that team has doubts about that coach. So if we were to win 10 plus games, make it to the playoffs, win a playoff game, Rivera doesn't necessarily have to be extended, but the likelihood is he would get extended at that point. But new ownership may come in, decide to do nothing, and that's a common practice. He's got a year left on his contract. He may have won last year, but he didn't win the 3 years before that and prior to that. Let's just see what happens. If he does it again, then we can extend him, okay? But for the sake of this discussion, we win 10 plus games, 10 or 10 plus games, all right, 10 or more games. We make the playoffs. We win a game in the playoffs. Hence, Rivera is extended. That's option 1. Option 2, the team just falls short of the postseason. They win 9 games, okay? They just missed the playoffs. But because they missed the playoffs, a lot of us feel like this is playoff or bust for Rivera. And for some of us, Rivera, it's not just good enough to get to the playoffs. Rivera's going to have to win a game when he gets there in order to secure his job. I think if he makes it to the playoffs, he's probably back for his 5th season here in Washington. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, I don't care how it happens. They could win, 7 out of their final 9 games. If they were that bad already, he's probably fired anyway. But even if they won 7 out of their final 9 games, and they missed the playoffs, he's like similar to what the Lions did last year. He's still fired. That's how I feel. But the team wins 9 games, just missed the playoff. Rivera is fired, okay, but Bieniemy is then promoted to head coach. All right, so that is your second option. Team wins 9 games, just misses the playoffs. Rivera gets canned, but they see the progress made on this offense. They feel like Bieniemy is the voice that the team needs, and so he's promoted to head coach. That's option 2. Option 3, the team does the Rivera thing, right? 7 to 8 wins, misses the playoffs. Everybody is fired. It's a full reset. You got both of the Martys gone, Hurney and Mayhew. You've got a brand new head coach. Ron is fired. So is his entire staff, including Bieniemy. Everybody's gone, and we're starting anew. In this particular scenario, Sam Howell is good enough to get another opportunity. You do not have to draft another quarterback. However, the rest of the front office, coach, staff, all of that, gone. Brand new start. All right. Fourth option. Team bottoms out. Okay, and when I think of bottoming out, you usually are thinking about a 3-win season like we had in 2019. That's not happening under Ron Rivera. Sorry for those of you who would like us to suck good enough to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Not happening. Rivera's teams don't quit on him. He's not going to win anything less than 5 games. If the season bottoms out, Rivera wins 5 games. That's the way this isn't a Jay Gruden situation in 2019. It's not happening. That's not where we are as a team. That's not where this roster is. And that's not who Rivera has been as a head coach. You can say what you want about him not having winning seasons and all of that stuff, which is true. But Rivera also in that same statement, make sure that you know that Rivera's teams don't quit on him. So I can't see that happening. But the team bottoms out, which is a 5-win season. Howell and the offense struggles. And so you reset everything. Full reset. GM, head coach, staff, all of that. But this reset, unlike the last one, includes needing to draft a quarterback. Sam Howell didn't get it done. Now you're looking for a quarterback again next year. So the winning 7 or 8 games, Sam Howell performed well enough that he's going to get another opportunity in 2024. In this scenario where the team bottoms out and Howell and the offense struggles, you're looking for a new quarterback in the draft in 2024. And then finally, the last option, Howell establishes himself as franchise quarterback material. Okay, so he shows the ability to be able to be a franchise quarterback. Obviously, after just 1 year, you can't be certain, but you can tell if a guy has the juice or not after a full season. It's one thing to see a guy for 4 or 5 games. It's one thing to see a guy for 6 or 7 starts. When a guy's got 16 or 17 starts under his belt, you have enough information at that point to disseminate or discern rather whether or not this guy is a franchise quarterback material. And so Howell has shown you enough in that one season where you go, hey man, we got something to work with here. You still don't win enough games. But Howell establishes himself as a quality NFL starting quarterback, and you're looking for a new GM, a new head coach, etc., etc. All right. So Howell plays really well in this last option. Howell plays really well. This is more of the defense let us down, but Sam Howell was out here balling, and we feel really good about him. With the 7 to 8 games won, and you missed the playoffs, he was all right. If the new GM came in and didn't believe in him and drafted a quarterback, we wouldn't bat an eye. In this last option, Sam Howell is unquestioned as the starter of this football team heading into 2024. So essentially, if you come away with nothing else, you've established the fact that you have a starting quarterback. That's what the last option says. So you have your options. What's your choice going to be? Leave it down in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys as to what you decided and why. And I can't wait for the poll results. I'm going to react to those results next week in a separate video. So that should be a lot of fun. I think it's a great exercise. And I'm gauging to see where you guys are as we head into training camp. I'm really trying to check to see where your head is. You know, how you're feeling about this team and what you're looking to get out of 2023. Okay? So, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on this installment of the Command Post. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I'll see you guys next week. Training camp is here. By the time we start chopping it up next week, we will be preparing for training camp. Bart Scott can't wait. Till then, You guys, have a great weekend. Take care.
LouieTeeNetwork.